There's nothing worse than that anxiety that comes from feeling like your spouse is withdrawn or disengaged or disinterested in the marriage. Maybe they don't want to talk about something. Maybe they're really resistant to engage in deeper conversations. Maybe they're spending more time away or closed off in another room. And you might be like a lot of partners who fight against this disconnection or engage in protest behaviors just to get some kind of reaction or connection. This comes along with reading into every little thing or second-guessing yourself or overthinking and living with anxiety, right? This can make you feel like your worst self, and it can make you feel desperate or even hopeless. So if your spouse is disengaged and you're wondering what to do and how to reconnect, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you 6 things that you can do to get unstuck and reconnect and address if there's actual problems in the relationship or if it's just the business of life that's compromising your connection. So the first thing you want to do is see if you can find out the root cause of the disengagement. It could be resentment towards you. It could be that they're going through something that they don't want to talk about. Maybe they're depressed. Maybe they're worried about finances. Maybe something happened at work. Maybe they made a mistake about something that they just are afraid to share. Or it could mean that they've formed some kind of emotional attachment outside of marriage. So it could be a lot of different things. And the first thing you need to do is try to find out what is the root cause of this. Are they stressed? Are they going through something? Just don't assume the worst. That's the main thing. Get curious and share what you've noticed without interpretation, right? So in other words, instead of saying you've been uninterested or you don't care or you're just really checked out, share instead what you notice with your senses. Hey, you've been really quiet lately. I haven't seen you around here as much. You've been gone more. You've been in your office more hours, whatever the case might be, right? And then just say, I'm curious. Are you going through something? Is there something that you are feeling about me or us? Do you have anything that you've been holding on to that you're afraid to talk about? Make it very neutral as you possibly can emotionally. Now, you can share the impact that it's had on you. You can share the meaning that you give it, but just don't criticize, don't accuse, don't globalize. Just be an ally in trying to gain clarity because it might not be about you at all, right? But if it is, and they have unexpressed hurts or if they feel shut down because let's say in the past they tried to share things, but they didn't feel heard or you got defensive in the past, then your job in that case is to really offer a safe place to have repair conversations. Find out what they need for repair and commit to making healthy changes going forward. Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to start responding to any bids for connection that you may have overlooked. Like, let's say, for example, if you're fixated on how much time they're spending working or you're overlooking the times that they are making bids for connection, they are sharing a detail about their day, they are making an observation or asking you a question, it's tempting to want to use those opportunities to move into what they aren't doing, right? And to point out all the ways that they're not connecting, focus on how you're feeling rejected. You don't want to be dismissing what they're offering in that moment. Wait to have that larger conversation until there's some goodwill and peace between you, especially if you've had a history of having a high conflict relationship. Number 3, if you feel like it's just the business of life that's getting in the way, the most important thing is to try to get to know things about each other, right? Things that you might have thought you've known, but they've shifted and you're just not in the know anymore. John Gottman talks about love maps, which is really getting to know your spouse's worries, their stresses, their hopes, and their life dreams. What are they thinking about? What are they hoping for that might have changed? The key in this case is to ask questions, remember the answers, and keep asking questions. In this case, it's not about what's gone wrong in the relationship. It's just about getting to know them. What is their favorite movie right now? Have they read anything recently? What's been on their mind, right? That can go a long way in building connection in the relationship. Now, the fourth thing that you can do is to start by looking for ways that you can build a culture of appreciation and respect in your dynamic. That means looking at the things that you can appreciate that you might have been taking for granted. The most insignificant moments are the ways that we build emotional connection, right? You can put deposits into that joint emotional bank account, and then you'll be able to draw from that later on. So your focus should really be on your inputs. Detachment from immediate results, right? Detach from outcome. You want to think of this as a strategy of expanding the positive interactions. The key is to do this not from a place of pulling or neediness, but from a really lighthearted, grounded place where you're really open to positive interactions. You're proactive about doing your part without putting any expectations or demands onto it. This can be hard, obviously, if you're not getting a lot back from your spouse, but if they're going through something or if they're really having a hard time or if they have resentments that need to melt, this is going to be appreciated later, so be patient. The fifth thing that I suggest to do, and this is essential, is you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. So let's say they're going through something and maybe they just need more time with individual pursuits right now. Maybe they're too depressed to really share that much. They're insisting that everything is fine, or maybe they're saying nothing's wrong and you feel lonely. Just focus on yourself. Try to figure out what fills your cup in the relationship. We can't have our primary relationship be our only source of connection and inspiration and love. 100% of the time, right? The more that we're alive with the rest of our lives and engage in our own purpose and development, the more that we actually have to share in the marriage with our spouse. So don't be afraid to bring your energy back to center, feel your feelings, and live from the inside out. This can be magic in a marriage. And the sixth and final thing that you can do to re-engage your spouse is to build up intimacy. And I don't just mean sexual, although that can be part of it. I'm talking about just affection, holding hands, being attuned to them, being physically present. Physical touch can build a huge emotional connection. It just communicates, I'm here, right? And you don't need words to connect. So look for those opportunities, especially if you're more of a cerebral, talk things through type of person. Maybe your spouse isn't ready for that, but they would be open to feeling your presence, your proximity, your attunement, your energy, and your attention in the room. That creates openings for organic moments of sharing and togetherness and just the mundane things of life. Now, this is hard, obviously, if you're somebody who really likes to discuss and confront things head on, but sometimes we just have to be really patient, hold space, and allow their walls to come down first. Now, if you want a deeper dive on this, check out my video called How to Connect with Your Spouse When Their Walls Are Up. And if you like this content, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That's going to help my videos reach more people, and it's going to ensure that you don't miss any of my weekly topics. Please, as always, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.